Alrighty, everybody, time for another edition of WCW 2002 as we're heading towards Fall Brawl. This is the week before the go-home show, so let's get rolling. So in our pre-show match, get some people in the ring. We've got Morningstar, Shane Douglas, and Shane Helms going over Dustin Rhodes, Lex Luger, and Tajiri in 1504 when Douglas pinned Tajiri with the franchiser. So we got Tajiri getting 54, Luger getting 49, Rhodes getting 68, Sean Helms getting 82, Douglas getting 77, Morningstar getting 57, this getting 74 B-, which, I knew it was going to be a much better match than some stuff on the show, but, sometimes booking takes precedence over good matches. So, wow, we've got a awesome opener. So basically, Eric Bischoff comes out and he's like, look, I know I've created some chaos in my time as I've been leading WCW, but this all has to stop. So, here's the deal. Basically, he goes over the fact that, he signed 2 WarGames matches. One WarGames match will be between Horsemen and Booker's Battalion. Yes, that's a ripoff of Sting Squadron from old school WCW, but, there you go. And also we've got the Deadpool taking on basically the Light Brigade of Sting and friends. So then he comes out, he basically has all, basically the leaders of all 4 teams come out. So we got Sting, Booker T, Canyon with Lawler, and Vampiro coming out, and, they all kept promos on each other. And Bischoff announces that next week, on the, basically go-home show, there will be a world title match, and there will be a world tag team title match. It will be, Canyon defending and Jordan Douglas defending against people not involved in any of the WarGames matches, and it will be a random draw, so everybody has an equal shot. But if there's any interference in those matches, whoever interferes will, their match will be canceled, they'll forfeit any future title shots for a year, and they'll be suspended. Everybody still gets promos on each other. Sting says it's going to be the end for the Deadpool. Vampiro says, there's going to be 5 new names on it. Canyon says nobody's better than him. Doesn't matter who he faces next week. And he's going to prove Booker T was always, a joke, a paper champion. Booker T says, you did not just say that, blah, blah, blah. And then Bischoff says, I'm the boss. I say what's final. 99 A-star. Bischoff invented a new catchphrase. Canyon was fantastic. Show got a strong start. There we go. Then in our opening match, we've got Blitzkrieg and Jason Jett defeating Kaz and Chavo Jr. in 747 when Blitzkrieg pinned Kaz with the Ace Crusher. That is not his finisher, but whatever. So we had Chavo getting 58, Kaz getting 57, Jason Jett getting 56, and Blitz getting a 50 already. This is just a match to set up the 3-way at the pay-per-view for the Cruiserweight title further, after Blitzkrieg and Jett have gotten wins. So, this just sort of makes it official. Chavo is there, so there's a heel partner, and this is 64C. Then afterwards, Blitz and Jett, in a quick 2-minute thing, celebrate before facing off for a second. So 51D+. Then we go backstage where basically there's a promo with Billy Kidman with Misty. He explains, no, he's not a member of the Deadpool. But, he basically agrees that there's a whole bunch of people in this company who have gotten fat off the land. And, just like he proved that Rey Mysterio was nothing, but a fraud, he's happy to help Imperial prove that, Sting, is a fraud, RVD is a fraud, and there needs to be a whole new generation in WCW in charge, starting with him. So, 72 B-, just your basic setup. Then we've got another match in the first round, and hey, there's 2 matches in the first round tonight. It's almost like somebody didn't realize he wouldn't be able to do a whole full 8-woman tourney in 1 month of TV without shunning matches off to Saturday night or something. So anyway, Lexi James, also known as Lexus 3, or Mickey James, defeated Lufisto in 447 with the Lurie DT. So we'll be fixing that name. It's a DDT. 49D+, so not too bad. Lexi got a 51, Lufisto gets a 31. And then basically Lexi celebrates, that gets a 55C-. Then we have a backstage promo where Sting has a promo with the baby faces, and he basically says, he's still the leader of the Light Brigade at WarGames, but tonight he's handing off the tag match with Booker, against Canyon and Vampiro over to RVD. And everybody, Dustin and Lex, pat RVD on the shoulder, says he's got this, and RVD's like, of course I got this. I'm RVD, 74B minus. And Luger performed about poorly in the second because he's Lex Luger in 2002. Then in our next match, we've got AMW defeating Miller and Smiley in 5:33 when Storm pinned Miller by pinfall with the 8-second ride, so just simple put the heels over, 49D+. Then afterwards, AMW have an in-ring, and they call anybody for next week, so 45D. Then we have a Horseman promo, basically, putting over how, they're going to remind everybody at Fall Brawl why they're the world champion, why they have the world tag titles, and why they could have the U.S. title if they wanted, but, it's just not, time for them to have that yet. Basically, 95 A-star. Everybody is over. And, it doesn't matter who they face next week. Durham Douglas will handle business, and Kane will prove he's better than everybody. Yep, and then we have an upset where Emi Sakura basically, has a match with Jordan Cole, and in the end, she gets a quick roll-up on Jordan Cole, and she gets the pin. 38D minus. Yeah, nobody knows who Emi is, but, what can you do? Then there's a stare down, and then a handshake between the two women. And that got a 32E+, and then basically, we have a Deadpool promo with Lestat, Morningstar, and Macias, and they, so, if you are really, well, everybody else looks scary. And basically, the end is coming soon. The late brigade will fall, and then it's on to the rest of WCW to add their names to Deadpool. 84B+. Then we've got Scott Steiner versus the Macho Man, and basically, this is a brawl. Steiner, cheats, but doesn't cheat. So he chokes and does a whack couple of moves. Gets him in the Steiner recliner. The ref calls for the bell. 76B minus. Match suffered because there was enough selling shown because of it's Steiner and Savage in 2002. And then basically Steiner does a beatdown and leaves Savage laying. And this gets an 87B+. Yeah. So we have a really good main event match. Probably could have been better if I had somebody a little better in the ring other than RVD, because Canyon, Vamp's not the best in the ring, but I had to try it. But anyway, in the end, Booker T and RVD pinned Canyon and Vampiro in 22 and 20 when RVD pins Vampiro by pinfall with 5-star frog splash. So I imagine, Canyon and Booker are brawling. RVD hits the Van Daminator in the ring, hits a 5-star frog splash, and gets the 84B+. RVD gets a 75. Booker T gets an 82. Vamp gets an 87, and of course Canyon, because he's awesome, gets a 95. So this gets an 84B+, and then the babyface is celebrating the end of the show, gets an 86B+. And this gives us an 87B+, which might be our best show ever, which would be insane because the middle of the show was 2 women's matches where nobody was over and an AMW squash. But let's see. That I'm actually quite interested in, because I would be shocked if that's our best Nitro. So first, let's look at Raw, see if they did anything interesting. Shawn Michaels went to no contest with the Big Show, which gets a 99. So of course it does. Devon pinned Matt. Triple H pinned Albert. Michaels and Edge had a showdown. Eddie pinned Viscera. So nothing too exciting. Okay, yep, people want Out of Development. And yeah, now I'm actually quite interested. WCW, Top 100. Okay, so not quite our best Nitro, but almost. Almost. So anyway, that's all for now. Next week will be the go-home show for Fall Brawl. So as you can see, we've got 2 WarGames matches. We've got a Cruiserweight 3-way for the Cruiserweights. We'll have the Women's title final. And, we'll have some other fun stuff that's, you can probably guess it's percolating. And then we'll go from there. Anyway, if you're enjoying things, go ahead and, like this video, comment on, on your thoughts on stuff, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel to, follow along with us as we continue through, the next couple of months. When TEW 20 comes out, we'll go from there, decide what we do with the save. Anyway, see you later. Adios. Talk to you later.